Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. It feels so unreal, so incredibly unreal that I'm doing 4K days. Like yesterday I hit my record day at 4.3K revenue at a 4+ ROAS, which is just insane. It's just absolutely insane to me. I spent 1K in ads, brought back 4.3K, and of that 53% of that was profit. So I had a 53% profit margin. So out of the 4.3K in revenue, 2.2K, 2.3K of that was pure profit, which is just insane. Like I don't know how to describe that feeling that I have right now. I just feel so grateful and so incredibly blessed. And it's just made me realize that how quickly like things could change. I'm not saying like my life has changed anything right now, but just your results from dropshipping, from e-commerce. 2 weeks ago, I was essentially at zero, never had a profitable store or product. And fast forward 2 weeks later, I'm now scaling that one winning ad to 1K in ad spend and bring back 4.3K revenue for my store. It's just so incredible. So I just wanted to make this video to bring forward this message, the most important thing that I wish that I knew back when I first started 6 months ago. So this will be a sort of like a main message that I want to get across to my past self, or for some of you guys that might be in the same situation that I was previously trying to hit the first winning product. All right, it's not like a technical skill, it's more like a belief or a limiting belief. So what I mean when I say that is, I think when I first started out in dropshipping, or when we first start doing something as a beginner, we're like a blank canvas, right? We don't know anything about the industry, the niche. We're just stepping into it for the first time and looking at these so many resources that we have access to and trying to extrapolate valuable information from these different sources. And it's very easy to convince a beginner and to essentially brainwash a beginner, because as a beginner, we don't know anything. We don't know anything better. We have nothing to compare the information that we take in to anything else. So all the information that we see, that we watch, that we consume, if it's presented in a good way by like a confident presenter, then we almost take it like the laws written on the tablet, like in like the Christian Bible. I'm not sure like what it's called, but we take it like it's the sole truth, right? And that can be a really damaging belief, a really limiting belief, because if we believe in something that might not necessarily be the truth, or might not be the only way to, let's say, get a winning product, make a winning store, but if we believe then that is the only way, then it's very limiting. We sort of box ourselves in to one way of approaching things. So for example, when I first started, right? When I first started and I was looking at dropshipping, there was the obvious organic dropshipping versus paid ads dropshipping. That was like the two different comparisons. But the meta at the time, like even right now, ever since 2024, the meta for all these gurus, right, has been dropshipping, or even more recently, branded dropshipping. That's sort of like the meta. And if you go against it, then you get called out. Like, for example, if you are still doing organic dropshipping right now and you tell your friends, they'll probably be like, oh, what the heck, why are you still doing organic dropshipping? That's so outdated. You don't learn any skills. You just spend all your day posting videos, right? So as a beginner, when we hear something like that, or at least for me, when I heard that, when I saw these gurus preaching that organic dropshipping is dead, you waste your time, you don't learn any skills, and you just waste your time making videos all day, right? And praying that one of them goes viral, and it's nowhere like sustainable. So when I heard that, I thought that I looked down on organic dropshipping. I was like, what the heck? Like why is there still people doing organic dropshipping when paid ads dropshipping is just so much better? And now looking back on that statement, after 6 months of being in this space, being in ecom, being in dropshipping, I can sort of see both sides now. Like branded dropshipping or paid ads dropshipping isn't the only way. It really depends on the person, the individual. Maybe organic dropshipping is more suitable to some individuals. Maybe paid ads is more suitable to the other group. And one thing I remember very specifically for organic dropshipping is the biggest con that gurus tend to push people away from organic is that you don't learn any skills from organic dropshipping, right? Which is just not true. That is just not true. With organic dropshipping, you probably learn one of the most important skills in modern day, like a modern time, which is social media, is the ability to go viral on social media, like perfecting your hooks, your content and your CTA, and the ability to go viral. That is probably the most important skill to have right now in 2025, and even more going forward. So before, when I heard that, it's like you don't learn anything from doing organic. I believed that because I didn't know any better. But now I see people doing not that I see people doing organic dropshipping, but just being in the space for longer, I tend to see more things and I can think more critically. And I realized that a lot of those things I believed in when I just started are not the truth, right? And another example for this is I really strongly believed when I first started that, because I watched a lot of Mark Builds brands at first, like back in March and April when I just started dropshipping, he really pushed for VSLs, for advertorials, because copywriting is the method, is the GOAT. With branded dropshipping, you can build, not with branded dropshipping, sorry, with advertorials and VSLs, you can craft a very curated funnel to target someone who is not even aware of the problem or the solution, and you can convert them into your customer, paying customer, and at the same time increasing the conversion rate and the average order value, because you're putting them through this long ass funnel to sort of nurture them as they go, right? And at the time, because Mark Builds brands, he's a really great copywriter and he's a really good presenter. Me not knowing any better at the time, I was so convinced that this is the way, right? This is the way to go, is to make long form VSLs into advertorials / listicles, and building a pre-lander into a landing page and into a checkout page. I was so certain that this was the way. So I dived headfirst into that space. I spent like days making one long VSL, and I was really confident. I launched that, no results. I make another one, collecting all of the B-roll clips. I would spend like days collecting B-roll clips. I would pay for softwares like Envato to get the B-roll clips, and I would edit them together. And mind you, I'm not a great editor at all. I've never done video editing before, so I sort of had to learn video editing as I went as well to make the VSLs, and then making the advertorials. I didn't even know what I was doing, to be honest. I was just a beginner diving into dropshipping, and I didn't know shit about my product. I didn't know shit about the market. I didn't know shit about customer psychology. Well, I thought I knew because I had ChatGPT guiding me all the way, but hell no. I was just praying that the resource or the copy that ChatGPT was spitting out is right, and it seemed right with me. I tried that for weeks, for almost a month or a month and a half, and it just never got anywhere. And I would send my VSLs to my friends, right, to get feedback, and I was just so confident that this was the way. And if you did anything else, if you just did static ads, then you're a loser, and you're not doing this the correct way, because I was so brainwashed, or my belief were so limited into thinking that VSLs plus advertorials is the only way, right? And another great example is right now is Calodata. I think a lot of people may consider Calodata to be the only way to do product research, or not the only way per se, but the most efficient way, the best way, is through Calodata to find the winning product, to get latest 7 days that's trending upwards, to find the latest winners, right? And maybe you find a product that's was just launched 8 days ago, and it has a 999% growth rate, and it's done 30K in the past 8 days, and then just going up like exponentially. But it's only been there for 8 days, and although it has such large growth rate, it's only done 30K revenue. So we don't know if the 9th day, 10th day will just plummet downwards. So a lot of people may use that as like the go-to method for product research, right? And they might think that this is the way, like this is the only way, this is the best way to find a winning product, which it could be, right? It could be the best way, but there are many other ways to achieve the same thing, if not better results, right? So I think the biggest takeaway from this is to not be overly confident in what we believe in as of right now, especially as a beginner, especially if you haven't found your first winning product, or especially if you haven't found your first winner and scaled that up. Never be too confident. This is kind of counterintuitive, but you have to have confidence in yourself and what you're doing, but don't turn that confidence into an ego thing like what I did. Don't be overconfident to the point that you have a massive ego in what you do, and if someone else challenges your ego, then you subconsciously have a opposition towards them, right? I think that is very, very, very important. Very, very important. If we get stuck, I'm lucky that I was broken out of that by my previous business partner. He sort of took my hand. Like I was like falling down a cliff, and I have one hand like hanging on the top, like the edge of the cliff, and I was like about to fall in this deep valley of no comeback, right? And then my business partner sort of took my hand and he pulled me out, and he showed me the light of a different world. All right. So I was very blessed for that. I'm very, very grateful that I met my business partner at that time, and he took me out of that sinking hole that I was in, right? And that showed me a different world. It showed me the world of e-com. So starting a supplement brand and launching a supplement, branding that. He showed me a different way to do this. And now with two different worlds, two different paths I can actually compare to, now I'm a lot clearer. I've realized, oh, okay, maybe advertorials VSLs is too difficult for beginners. If you're jumping into dropshipping, this is your first month or your first 6 months, then trying to learn copywriting to like a good level where your VSL and your advertorial actually works, that will take huge amount of effort. And mind you have to learn video editing and make your video editing actually engaging. All right, make your cuts, edits actually good. So all of that said, not even mentioning building advertorials and pre-landers, all of those are such high barriers to entry, in my opinion, even with the help of AI, because a lot of the times AI don't really give you that good of responses, especially for copywriting. So wait, I just sort of lost my train of thought for a second. Yeah, but that is the main message, is to don't box yourself into your limiting belief. And it's definitely a hard balance, because on the other end of things, it's like what's the thing called, golden something syndrome, what is it called again? Anyway, golden something syndrome. You don't want to stick onto one path too much, too overconfident with big ego, but at the same time you don't want to stick onto something too loosely, otherwise you'll just be hopping around different things. So the key is to pursue one thing. I think my main message to my past self is to pursue on whatever you're doing right now confidently, but don't rule out anything else, right? If you notice a good opportunity and you've analyzed it critically, it's not just golden something syndrome, you've analyzed that thing confidently, and you you now believe that, okay, maybe this is also worth a try. Maybe I can use what I've learned from narrowing on my current path to this other thing, right? And the other thing could just be the matter of going from VSLs to UGCs, or going from UGCs to static ads, right? Or going targeting bottom of funnel to targeting top of funnel. It could be a small change, right? To just test out different things, to go hard on one path on whatever you're doing right now, but always leave room for opportunities elsewhere as well. Because if you only stay on one path, then your chance of success is determined purely by you as a factor, of course, but what the ceiling, or what the cap, what the potential for your current path is. So there's no reason there's no reason to rule out everything else, right? And to have a big ego and, like what I did, look down on people who did something different, or did something that I thought was worse than what I was pursuing. Yeah, be humble, literally. Be humble and continue what you're doing. That's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.